What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to I almost called it the Alec and Selmo private podcast. I'm listening to myself right now. I can hear myself going in my head. The notification on my phone just went off right now, so I'm all out of sorts. The Alec and Selmo private podcast. Um, let's just dive into that real quick. Welcome back to Before I Go, the podcast before started over that. The podcast for before I leave this earth. Um, the Alec and Selma private podcast. It's interesting. I've told you guys I've tried to start up a podcast on a number of instances now at this point. There was the Conversation podcast. The podcast with my friend that I feel awful, but I'm sorry. I'm forgetting the name of what we were even going to call it. Tried to create Alec and the Homies. But one podcast that's kind of forever ongoing is the Alec and Selmo private podcast that I just kind of mainly share with my girlfriends. Sometimes I do it literally just for myself, and other times I send it to, I think I've sent it. I'm not sure that I actually have sent it to other people. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. But sometimes I do the Alec and Selmo private podcast, and it's really been quite a long time now. I think the last time I did one was like 10 minutes long, maybe this summer, and I was just sitting in the backyard. Like, it was just for me. I was just kind of like reflecting, like, dude, like, a lot's gonna change, man, pretty soon. And that's kind of all I was talking about. But it's the Alec and Selmo private podcast, all right. So I'm not here for your criticisms on it. You don't need to know anything else. It's the private podcast. That's the important part to remember, is the private part. That didn't come out exactly how I wanted that to, the private part. Something about that. Anyways, I've been noticing with the audio in this podcast lately, like, it's not that great. It's not like terrible. It's not consistent across the board. I kind of keep experimenting with new things, and that's what I'm going to do today as well. Just kind of listening to how it comes out in these new headphones. Oh, okay. Little drop there. The new headphones. Yeah, I know. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. I know. Merry Christmas, everybody. As I record this today, it's December 26th. I would hope to have this out on December 27th. So cross your fingers. I guess you'll know better than me, right? That's another thing I'm gonna keep getting caught up. I know not really many people do watch this podcast, if any, but I have gotten comments from friends, family on it. So I know occasionally someone's watching it. And so I think if you're going to make content on the internet, you have to be prepared to have zero audience. And throughout my time on YouTube, I've had, for me, what I felt like was, wow, that's like a pretty big audience right now. I wasn't used to that. I was used to like 2 or 3 people watching. I've had, consistently 15 to 20 people watching, consistently 20 to 30 or 40, and then obviously with Cocomelon, uh, hundreds of thousands of people watching. Kind of, and that's more up to debate. I don't know how many individual people would have watched that, but I have a hard time believing that at least, you know, if there was any less than 100,000 people that have watched it, I guess I would be surprised, just because there are like 240,000 views on that video. So it's a pretty crazy thing when you think about something that way. You're like, wow, that many people have seen my face, and you know, you're like, that's like nothing compared to, like, oh, like you're Mr. Beast or something else like that. I don't know, it's a weird thing, but it's just how the world works, I guess. And 100,000 sure as heck feels like a lot. I think about 100,000 people looking at me, and my heart starts to flutter a little bit. I'm like, that's kind of nice, because I'm a narcissist. I think I have some narcissistic traits for sure. Probably. I don't know. That's. I don't even know if that's to be seen. If it has already been seen, I don't know. Maybe when I eventually go to therapy, maybe then we'll know some more. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, welcome back today. Um, yeah, so the headphones, I got these for Christmas. I hope your Christmas was great. I know I've been hyping up Christmas for a while, and I probably should have done a pre-Christmas podcast. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, it was just kind of running down like the clock on things, and I was like, I'm doing too much over like Christmas. I can't really like I could have done something a little bit before, but you may have noticed a little bit of a slight hiatus from me. Um, Terrible cough and cold. I probably had a cold flu, to be honest. I there's like different types of the flu. Um, I guess I don't know. Let's not have this guy talk about it. I don't know if I'm the guy who you want to be schooling you about here's the different types of the flu that I definitely know with my definite background on it because I'm such a smart guy, as you guys know. I've always talked about the different types of the flu. Um, I don't know what it was, but I had headaches a little bit. Did I? I may have just spoke out my butt right there, man. Head stuff like nauseousness, lightheadedness, uh, kind of like losing sense in the fingertips. Like, like when your hand falls asleep or your foot falls asleep, that's like what was happening. That like kind of grainy, sandy, pokey feeling on your hand. I've always called it more of a grainy and sandy feeling. I feel like it's a lot less of a pins and needles type thing. I'm like, pins and needles sounds a lot worse than this, but that's just me. I'm like, pins and needles would be terrible, but I guess sure, pins and needles. And what is the difference between pins and needles? Like what kind of pin are we like? I think of like a sewing pin and a sewing needle as the same thing. So I don't know. Maybe we're talking about like a ballpoint pen and a needle. I don't know, or a needle on a blood draw thing and sewing pin. I don't know, man. I'm not sure what they're referring to when they say pins and needles, and I don't know. Oh, I was talking about the audio as well. When I make a lot of puss sounds or cuz a lot less. I'm actually hearing it come through. It's not so bad, but b b p b b. Sorry, I know. Sucks if you're an audio listener. It sucks if you're a listener in general, not just an audio listener, which there is no such thing as an audio listener yet, unless you're pulling this up on YouTube and listening to it in your car, which I know my girlfriend has done at least once. But anyways, I'm getting really off topic today, but I'm managing to get back on track. That's all that really matters. I'm just talking at you today. I don't have some agenda to go through like I sometimes do and sometimes don't. Today's one of those sometimes don't days. But yeah, I need to probably get a pop filter for this microphone here. And that's another thing with the audio is I need to be more consistent about where I place the microphone. This microphone is propped up on let me just show you what it's on right now. Take a look at this here. You see that? That's caramel. That's a caramel thing. Yeah, I eat at my desk sometimes. It's not all the time, but when I get online with my friend and we're playing Fortnite, and I get a little hungry, I don't really feel like hopping off to go get a snack. I'm like, I'm gonna bring the snack here, and so I bring an apple and dip it in my caramel, and I happened to bring 2 caramels along this time, and then after like one thing of the caramel, I was like, that's a lot of caramel, and I'm starting to feel like that was maybe too much caramel in the first place. It was a rather sweet apple as well. Usually I do a green apple, which is more sour and less sweet, and this one was like a Granny Smith apple or something. It was really sweet and less sour, and those just don't work with the caramel as well. Actually, I like the green apple is better with the caramel, to be honest with you. So, anyways, that was up here. I didn't bring it down. I cleaned off the rest of my desk mostly. It could probably use a good wipe down, which I should probably do tomorrow. My car could probably use a wipe down. You're probably like right now, Alec, you're really going off topic, but dude, it's all segues. It's not like I'm just hard cutting. We know what a hard cut is. It's not always great. A hard cut is when my cat, I'm not even gonna say her name, otherwise she'll come to the door, which she probably will at some point anyways. A hard cut is when I'm talking and my cat comes to the door and I have to cut. That's a hard cut. These are all segues. So segue back around, and I'm losing my point, so now it is a hard cut. Anyways, I have the caramel. I need to wipe down my desk. The caramel props this microphone up a little bit more. I think I got back on track. The caramel props this microphone up a little bit more and gets it a little bit closer to my face. If you can see, it's right there. You see that little black thing at the bottom of your screen there? You might be able to, you might not be able to. If you're on mobile, it might be a little bit more difficult there to really hardly see that, but it's there. Anyways, need to prop up the microphone, get it closer to my face, and keep it at this level consistently because it sounds the best here. When you podcast, it sounds great when the microphone is closer to your mouth rather than farther away. Anyways, I need to get more of a pop filter on this microphone. I don't know how much it'll help, but I know they're cheap, so I'll probably buy one pretty soon here. Prop it up on there. Now, I know I'm segueing fast, but I'm staying on topic here. Speaking of buying stuff, I cannot do that until payday, baby. Holy crap. I mean, I went off on Christmas, man. I wasn't expecting to go off that much, but let's just say there's not a lot of money in my bank account right now, man. If something really bad was to happen, I'm kind of screwed. I don't know. I don't know have a credit card. Probably should. Probably start gaining credit. Um, I don't have a credit card, man. So there's no like debt I can take out, no loan. Now, granted, I have parents, and so probably would help me out and whatnot. And really, any emergency kind of situation, they're probably gonna help me out most of the time. That's the privilege of being a boy in the middle class or so. It's like I would say if I was to guess, I don't really even know. I would guess like I'm not the middle class. I'm not the lower middle class. I'm not the upper middle class, but I'm right between the middle class and the upper middle class. I'm like right in the middle is where I would guess things are. That might be oversharing, but um, and I but here's the thing. Take what I say with a grain of salt. I don't know. Maybe I am the upper middle. Maybe I'm wealthy and I have no clue. I'm certainly a lucky guy. Is all I'm saying. I'm not poor. I am very blessed with our financial situation. It's not been easy all of my life, but it's never been like, well, I don't know. Well, maybe I don't know. It hasn't ever felt that hard for me, and that's been great. Of course, I still worry about money. I've worried about money all my life. I've worried about my family's money all my life. That's just my personality. I'd rather not be talking about this anymore. I'm like digging myself out of a hole type thing. Don't speculate on how much my family has. I live in a good. I'm well off. I'm doing good. My family takes care of me. I've gotten a good Christmas every year. Shouldn't ever complain about that. It's been great. Anyways, if something was to happen right now to me, there's not a lot of money in this bank account. Is all I'm trying to say. There's just not a lot of money in the bank. I'm not trying to say if something was to happen to me. I'm just trying to tell you there's not much money in the bank account at all. So, anyways, a lot of that money went towards the girlfriend's family, the girlfriend's siblings in her family, the mom and my dad, my mom and dad, my brother, and gas money. I don't know. I'm telling you where all my money goes. A lot of money went out to Christmas, and you can probably guess where most of it went. Went to my girlfriend, obviously, but I loved Christmas shopping, man. I really love Christmas shopping, and it's it's a lot of fun for me to do. There's something about it. Online Christmas shopping is fun, but and the gift I got my girlfriend this year that was like the biggest gift was non-tarnishing a gold necklace and earrings. I don't know. It's like it's not like real gold, not like that kind of. I'm not trying to spend that kind of money. We both told each other we're like, let's aim to spend like $200 and especially no more than 250. Like let's not do that. Every year, that total of money goes up. I think it was I don't know 100, 150 I think it was like 100 the first year or something. Like I don't know. Melanie could tell you. She could tell you. It might have been 150 one year, 175, 200 the next year, and then this year we're like, let's go 250 because inflation, baby. And what we were telling each other yesterday, opening each other's presents and whatnot, is wow. Like it's weird because every single year we're spending considerably more money, yet there's not a lot more gifts. Not that we care at all, no. But you're like looking, you're like the size of these gifts isn't much different. Like it doesn't look like that much bigger of a haul than last year. So that I mean I don't know if that should tell you something or not. I mean obviously it's like okay, $50 more is only gonna get you so much more, and how many like larger things are you gonna get that are in that age range, in that price range, age range? What? Um, so I guess there's that to think about too. But it was really fun, and it was a really great Christmas yesterday. Waking up with the family. I there's a lot of emotion in it this year for me, and in the thought that, or just yeah, I guess in the thought that I'm not gonna be living here next year around this time, and I would ideally and likely will be back here around this time, but I won't be living in this household anymore. It'll be like much different. And this is kind of my like last year at home, last Christmas, really, really at home and living at home and enjoying this time of year around my family for the entirety of that time. It's you think about as someone who could be living across the country, it's like how long can I really afford to be away and not working and that kind of thing? And it's like, man, like probably home for 10 days next year, ideally, is the hope, but it's like maybe it's only 4 or 5, maybe it's 3, you don't really know. And so I'm taking this time and really soaking it in because it does matter. And there's a lot of importance to it in my belief and in my opinion for me because I just don't know what it looks like next year. And this is how my life has been for so long now. All of my life, it's been this way, and then it'll considerably switch up. And yeah, the family, God willing, and all of that, keeping them safe. They're not going anywhere, you know, um, necessarily anytime soon. And like I say, God willing, and all that. But I don't believe in jinxing things, so definitely not. But you know it's just different when you come back. It's going to be different. Things are going to be different. It'll be different being around my family. That dynamic will certainly be different to some extent, I would imagine. Like, yes, there's still my family. That dynamic is largely going to remain the same and whatnot, but it'll be different too. And there'll be a different sense to it, kind of trying to soak in all that time I can get next year because knowing that I'll go away from them again for an extended amount of time. And so this year had a different ring to it, and it was the same in a lot of ways, but it was really, for me, it was really about making an effort to be present as often as I could. And going back to that first episode, I believe, let me take a sip of water here. Going back to that first episode, you know letting it was the quote that I made from the movie, um about life being so beautiful, and just, taking a deep breath and just kind of letting it flow through you, good or bad, just like enjoy it, And so for me, it was like, not even enjoy it, but just let it be, Don't gotta worry about it all so much, just let it be. And so for me, I felt myself getting very stressed out at certain points. And every Christmas, I think this happens to a lot of us. It's damn, it's ending. I can feel it ending. Yesterday was the 23rd, now it's the 24th, and all of a sudden it's, wait, what? It's not the 24th anymore, it's the 25th. And now it's the 26th and Christmas is over, and you're like, where did it all go? And for me, I'm actually feeling pretty good today because through all of that, I sat down and told myself, as I was feeling those feelings, I had to take a moment to step aside and say, it's all right, Alec, it's okay. You're right, it is going by fast, and that's not going to change. But that's okay. You just gotta breathe in, man, and just let that flow through you. There's nothing you can do about it. So just enjoy this. Enjoy the fact that you're, you know, worried that it's gonna end because it's so good. It's like, great, enjoy that. Find some enjoyment in that. Let that be. Be like, wow, like I can feel time slipping by, and that's kind of interesting and cool in its own way. So, I don't know. I think that helped me a lot because it's not like that got rid of the anxiety about it. It kept coming back. I think it certainly made it last shorter amounts of time, but it made that feeling like you're almost grateful for that feeling. You're like, man, this kind of sucks, but it's also like, man, am I lucky? I'm lucky to be feeling this. Lucky to be feeling like I don't want this to end. That's a special thing, and I think that's something that more of us need to hold on to, and myself included. And that's why I feel good about things, I guess, is because I can feel myself feeling grateful, feeling lucky for everything, and what you have. And so, in everything, I think you can do that because there are a lot of good moments throughout the year. Sometimes for some of us, sometimes those moments do feel limited, right? And unfortunately, not all of us sometimes you might go through a year and be like, I don't know that there was a good point. And I don't think there'll ever be an instance like that in my life, because I think I can try and find the positive in a lot of things, but I'm an optimist at the end of the day. But it's just about, throughout the year, for me it's like, well, next week is my girlfriend and I's 3-year anniversary, and that's going to be a great day. We're going to go out to breakfast. My girlfriend got me a video game for Christmas that we can play together, so we're probably going to play through some of that. We have a dancing lesson, and we're going to get Chinese food, and it's like, man, I'm really looking forward to that day. Like, I can't wait till that's here. Um, but, all of a sudden it's going to get here, and it'll be over quicker than I can even believe. I'll be at breakfast, and breakfast will go by. We'll be playing video games will go by. We're going to go to a dance lesson. That'll go by so quick, and I'll probably want it to go by quick, but by the time it's over, I'm going to be like, dang. And wanting it to go by quick because I'm so uncomfortable and anxious and nervous because I'm a terrible dancer. And then, of course, we'll get Chinese food, watch a movie or something, and all of a sudden, that'll be over too. And so you think about that, and you're like, that's kind of nerve-wracking, actually. I don't know. It's like, all of a sudden, you can think about that day and be like pessimistic about it. Like, it's going to be over so quick. What's the point? But there is a point to it, and it's learning to embrace that feeling. I think for me, it's learning to embrace, like, I don't have to get rid of this feeling. And I think that's a big thing this year that I've taken in, is like, I need to get better and better, especially going into next year as time continues to fleet away before I move, of just, hey man, you don't gotta feel like this has to go away. You don't have to feel like this feeling of anxiety, I should say. And anything else too, I guess. It's not like family's gonna go away, they'll always be there. But to stay on point with my topic here, you don't gotta make it like that anxiety go away. Obviously it's not fun, and obviously it can be kind of an uncomfortable feeling, but it's like, there's always a different way to look at that kind of thing. And so for me, it's like, let's just embrace this feeling, because yeah, it sucks, but like, why am I feeling this? I'm feeling this anxiety of the good because it is so good. you know I'm just going to feel grateful right now, is the way I'm going to put it, and be like, damn, this kind of sucks. I'm kind of annoyed I'm feeling anxious and not feeling some other way, because there's only so much time. And the more time I spend feeling anxious, is the less time I get to feel not feeling anxious and just enjoying it. But I think in some ways I can look at it and right now and be like, it's not even that different. What's the moment that's better? It might even be the anxiety, because that's when I'm truly present and realizing, wow, it's fleeting. Time is fleeting and it's going by, and this is so good. That's when I'm really present, is when I'm anxious and be like, why is this so good? So it's a weird thing, because I'm trying to pitch it like it's a positive thing. It's a positive thing. And it just isn't always a positive thing, though. And that's the other part of it. But, I think it doesn't have to feel like a positive thing in the moment. You know, Yeah, I don't know. It's a very difficult thing to explain, and for me to try to pitch to the viewer here, being you, it's just like, to me, there really is something so beautiful about being anxious in those moments. I couldn't help but feel anxious sitting here, knowing that it was the 24th of December. I had just left my girlfriend. I'm just about to finish up writing my Christmas card for her and my mom and dad, with two separate cards. And um I'm sitting there like, dang, it's like, after this, I get up and I'm gonna walk to bed and maybe try and like lengthen out this time, but Christmas is certainly almost over, you know? And that's a hard feeling. You're kind of almost depressed. You're kind of like, oh, kind of all goes back to regular after this, and I go back to work, and I don't really have another lengthy break like this to look forward to, and or a time like this where there's so much going on, being Christmas. The camera goes off, of course. That time being Christmas, and New Year's, like going into the new year, and my girlfriend and I's anniversary. This kind of time doesn't last forever, and afterwards it all does go back to regular. But you know truthfully, that anxiety is as a sign of how good things are. And, you know, um, it makes me want to chase these kind of feelings some more, chasing that want to be, you know, in the moment and really experiencing excitement and joy and positivity, not limiting, Sunday almost really, Sunday through Thursday being, because I work Monday through Friday. Sunday feels like, damn, work's coming tomorrow. Monday it's work, Tuesday's work, Wednesday's work, Thursday's work, and then Friday, it's Friday. I got to go to work, but then I'm off. But it's like those other days after I get off work, it's like, most don't have to be dud days. Like those can be great days too, and that's, I think for me, one thing going into 2024, and one thing that really was one of my goals in this job was like, hey, let's just keep trying to enjoy life after work more, or enjoying work itself more. I mean, you can see it here right there. It's like me thinking I can't enjoy work when I can. I can. And it's hard for me to believe I'll enjoy it as much as life outside of work. And I think that's understandable for anyone in my position, or in the position of just working a job that has gotten either old and boring, or just it's a lot of work for not a lot of payoff, or it's just not your dream thing to be doing. I'd be lying to tell you that, oh yeah, I'd love to work in food service the rest of my life. Hell no, I never thought I'd come back, but here I am. But I could still enjoy certain aspects of that, and I can enjoy life afterwards. It's like, oh, you're like limiting to yourself because you can't stay up as late. Like, you're cool, bro. You got it. You like what? How much later are you gonna stay up? Another 2 or 3 hours, maybe. That's fine. You're chilling. You're great. And so I don't know. I think this year has been about learning to embrace every feeling, and just not feeling so pressed to get it out of here. I can't feel this way right now. I don't have time to feel this way. What do you mean? That's what life is about. So, anyways, let me take a look at something here. I want to show you something. We'll move on to a new topic, I guess, here. Look at this. I got this on here today because I'm like, I need to center myself up a little bit more. I was like, am I coming out of center here? And I think I may have a little bit, but there we are, back in the center there. The thirds. Wouldn't it be weird if I was like right here? I think that'd be weird. All this space over here, that'd be weird, wouldn't it? But I wanted to put this up because I was like, this is kind of cool. This is kind of like production. Like, look at this. This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. Yeah. Anyways, on my agenda the rest of the day, really in about 10 minutes, I'm supposed to be at my girlfriend's house. She's gone, by the way. She's in Georgia with her mother. Dad's out of town. Her brother's at work. So no one's at home except the animals. And being a good boyfriend, I'm going to go and check on the animals. What a blessing that is, by the way, to be able to do that, to have that, to say I'm going to check on this for my girlfriend. I feel so lucky to have that. I know I'm so lucky to have that. And if I'm kind of pushing it in your face a bit much right now, I am sorry. But also, I guess what I would say is this. I'm not going to offer some like, just, it's fine. Your time is coming. I understand that doesn't feel good to hear either. But also know I'm going to talk about this stuff. It's something that means a lot to me. And so that's just the thing. I'm going to talk about it. And I hope that if you don't have that right now, or you do have it and it's not in the spot that you want it to be, just, I guess what I'm asking you is don't spite me for it. I think I did that a lot when I didn't have a girlfriend. It's like when people did, I almost like spited them for it. There was something about them I disliked. Like, you have a girlfriend. It's like, you're so lucky, It's like, you're so lucky. Get it out of here. Get out of my face. Stop pushing it in my face. When really for me, it's like, I want to, or like back then I'd be like, I would envy it. I'm like, like, I'll be honest, like, just to open up and get vulnerable with you here. It's not always easy to be vulnerable, by the way. I think sometimes it can be embarrassing to say, but I think just good comes from it. and I want people to be able to relate to me, and or just say, "Oh, okay, that's interesting." I guess I don't know. I used to look at like a guy and a girl walking out of a store or something when I didn't have a girlfriend and be like, "Wow, she is beautiful. That's a beautiful girl right there. Like she has beautiful hair. Um, she's in great shape." I'm not ashamed to say that's something I would think. I think that's a very normal thing for that's really baseline attraction. You know what I mean? And I would see an attractive girl, I guess is what I would say. And I don't think those are a sexist thing to say. Those are baseline attractions for, I think, most people. I think when girls find a guy attractive, it's like, wow, I don't know if they talk about your hair, but maybe it's like he's in great shape or he has great style or, um, you know, I've heard, you know, um, some people are into calves. Look at that guy's calves. I don't know. Anyways, something about a guy, it's his eyes, it's his style, or something about a girl, it's her hair, her style, something like that, or just the smile they put on their face, or how their face sits when they're just walking at a safe way. I don't know what you guys have around the world. Walking out of Publix, walking out of Kellogg's. They don't have their own store. Walking out of Walmart. Something, you're like, well, that's an attractive face right there. Anyways, I would like look at a guy and this girl walking together, and maybe it could be a number of things that would come out through my mind. Like, yeah, maybe it was just like, oh, wow, she's attractive. I wish I was with her. Or it'd be like, oh, I'd be better than that guy for her. Like, I'd be like I'm better looking than him. Something like that. Something out of insecurity, maybe. Or I'd look at it and be like, that's just, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve her. You don't deserve her. Something like that. Like those kind of thoughts would go through my mind, or, just like annoyance at the both of them. Like, that kind of thing. It's not always easy to hear. For me, like, um, my brother had a girlfriend when he was in seventh grade. I had a girlfriend when I was in seventh grade. And I don't know, I was like a sophomore at this point in high school. And Jake had a girlfriend, and I felt like so. It's weird. Like it's totally out of insecurity. I felt so, for me at least, and maybe for you, it's different. Maybe it's not an insecurity. Maybe it's something else or some negative trauma, something. Who knows? But for me, personally speaking, I would see Jake and out of insecurity, like with his girlfriend, like it just sucked. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want to see that. I just kind of felt like my little brother has a girlfriend and I don't. Like that's crazy, man. Like I was happy for him still, but you're like, that's just sucks. Why don't I have a girlfriend? I feel like I'm a good-looking guy, but like I have this acne on my face or something about it, because I had terrible, terrible acne, really, really bad acne, all over my face. You really can't see it anymore. You can kind of see it there. There's some scarring there. Um, I don't really know what this is right here right now. I don't know. It's kind of more new, but luckily my face is in great shape right now. I'm glowing right now. I'm not gonna be one to not admit it. Um, but I had a very acne like face, skinny neck, this size head still though, and less mass on my body. I'm still a pretty skinny guy, to be honest, and proportionally I'm a lengthy looking dude a little bit. That's how I've always been, but I've kind of learned to accept that more. I mean, even looking now though, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm like, damn, my head's like a little big for my body is how I feel. And for me, it's just kind of like, oh, that's just how it is. That's how I've been created. That's how God created me. And you know what? This guy right here that I'm looking at on my screen, he's beautiful. He's a good looking guy. And I've been told it all my life by my family, not by like random people. And I've learned to like be like, I'm a good looking guy. I'm a good looking guy, and I'm lucky to be a male. I think as a guy, it's easier to accept yourself as better looking, but not everyone gets that privilege. My brain happens to work this way, where I can look at myself and be like, I think I'm handsome. I think I look good today, and I feel very grateful for that, because not everyone's brains work like mine do. You know what I mean? Not everyone gets to feel this way. But I do remember feeling a way where I was like, I'm just not a good looking guy right now. I don't look good. I don't care about my hair. I don't care about anything. I don't care about my acne. I don't care about my style. I just want to go to school and get home. I don't want to see your girlfriend. I don't want to see any. I don't. I want to. I'll walk through the halls and look at a girl and be like, man, she's pretty. She's beautiful. Hell, I'll be honest. Look, if there's a guy there who never thought this when he just like looked at a girl passing by and be like, oh yeah, she's hot. Like, of course I felt that way. Of course, those were things that I felt back then. And I think as a single person, those are natural things to think now. That's not. I think sometimes if it absolutely can become objectifying, especially when those words come out into the real world and don't stay in here. I think largely they should stay in here, but that can become objectifying. And maybe in some ways, back then, even mentally, I was objectifying women. But what I would also say is there's also a thing called there's also that baseline attraction that we all feel. And we've all looked at someone before and said, that person's hot. That's a hot person right there. Wow. That's a hot person. So, anyways, what I would say to you, if you're out there and do not have a significant other right now, is I encourage you not to spite me for having that. I encourage you to feel good for me for having it. And that's not an easy thing to do. I'm not going to pretend that's an easy thing to do. Just do it. Just do it. But I'm telling you right now, if I would have made more of an effort to do that, so many other things in my life would have gotten better. They really would have. And it's a much easier thing to do once you're in a couple, to be like, oh yeah, like, good for them. Good for them. That's a much easier thing. And so I'm not going to sit here and say, just do it. Just feel better. Just feel better. You're fine. And that's definitely not what I'm saying. Don't feel better, but I keep chasing that. I'm not telling you to feel good for me like right now. I'm just saying, try to make that effort. Don't even try to feel good for me. Just try not to feel anything about it. Don't feel anything about it. Maybe that's even better. Don't think about it. Don't think about the fact that I have a girlfriend. Don't think about the fact that I have a girlfriend and you don't. Just make an effort towards that. Don't just do it, but make an effort towards it. Whatever that is. Just trying to be mindful about it. But please stop talking about your girlfriend, dude. I'm not want to always talk about her, but I do talk about her a lot. I know that. And there's definitely a certain balance that needs to be there in any kind of thing you do. If you're only talking about sneakers, on your life podcast, like, that's fine to talk about sneakers for a little bit, but like not all the time, every episode. But we're in the first few episodes. It's something that means a lot to me and something I will talk about because it's a huge part of my life. So anyways, that's my spiel on that. Not meant to be me talking at you or giving you a lesson, because chances are, if you're watching this, you're somewhere from a married person to probably 16 or 17-year-old person. And we all have different things in life. We're all smart about some things, where some of us are less smart. We're all more blessed in some areas of our life than other people are in other areas. And so I think it's not me trying to lecture you on something. You don't know this, but I do. That's not, if it came across that way, I'm sorry. But I'm telling you now, that's not what it was. It's me speaking from experience to you, and really just not really trying to give you a lesson, really just asking you not to spite me for that is the one thing. Because I just think that's a healthy thing for someone to tell someone else. Is it really like a great, I guess that's one thing I'd say, is step back and look at the situation. Is there anything healthy about spiting someone else for being happy or being in a good position? That's the thought. I always look at like people who slam rich people well, he's a millionaire, like, he's a football player or something else, and it's like, oh no, I feel bad for him. He got injured or something like that, and people are like, well, he's a millionaire, so that you shouldn't feel bad for him. It's like, well, that's kind of dehumanizing because they have money, because they're in a better financial situation than you. But emotionally, are they? Maybe. But I can't feel bad for this person. I can't, I think our society can be very abrasive to people who have money. They're automatic. Oh, I wish I had your life. You just get to travel everywhere or something like that. I don't get to travel everywhere. I don't. One trip a year or so, usually, by plane. If we're really lucky too, you know what I mean. And it's always a blessing. Some people get to travel a lot more than that. Some people don't really get to travel at all. You know what I mean? And so, uh, and we often look up and we're like, well, you have this and I don't. And that's much more than just a girlfriend. It's a lot of things. It's financially speaking. It's, relationship speaking. Whatever your job is, or how you moved up, or how you're recognized in school. This person's always getting recognized, but I know them and I don't think they're as good of a person. Seems like I might be speaking from experience. I definitely got one or two people in my mind right now where I'm like, I know they're not like that great of a person, but here they are getting recognized for all this because either they have connections or something else, whatever it is, and it's hard not to feel envious or jealous of that. So those feelings are natural, but for me, it's like taking a step back and being like, it's okay. That's okay. Not their fault. They didn't do anything, it's fine. Do I agree? Do I think everyone's as deserving as something as maybe I am? I'm like, oh, well, geez, I feel like I worked a lot harder for that, but that's okay. That's where I am at right now. It's just trying to learn to be like, I can think one way, I can be like, or maybe let's put myself in someone else's shoes. Like, man, I feel like that guy, I don't know if he really does deserve a girlfriend compared to me. I feel like I might be a little bit more deserving of that just because of how I treat people versus how he treats people. I felt that way before. And then just learning to be, for me, like back then was like, it's okay. My time shall come. Hopefully. It's kind of what you think. You get to a point, at any point being single, where you're like, I might just not get married. That's okay. And I think it's always a silly thing. Anyways, that's my spiel on that. Just, it's not spiting people for what they have and what you don't. And I can still work in that in a number of different aspects in my life. And I think for me, that looks like my career, financially speaking, just like, hey, not their fault. Not their fault that that's how they are. Like, if you want that, go get that. And I believe, I'll always say it. I believe you can do anything and get anything you want. With that level of hard work, dedication to what you do, to what you do, to what you do. There we go. I could hear that coming out jumbled. I guess that's the benefit of having this, and also the downfall. Being able to hear yourself, you can be like, oh, I didn't say that right. I can hear it come through the microphone. It feels just slightly delayed, which can make things a little bit difficult to say sometimes. It feels like you're getting talked over a little bit, especially if it's really delayed, but this isn't too bad. And if you focus too much on it, which I am right now, it's just making it a bit harder to talk. It makes things harder to talk, but you also pick up on when you're not saying something right. You're like, oh, that came out wrong. Let me say that again. Or I kind of stumbled over that. Anyways, I think that's mostly it. I just kind of wanted to do a little recap of my Christmas for you and a couple thoughts heading into the new year, because I think next time I'll see you, it'll be 2024. And I think we did a good talk today. Really, this was kind of the New Year's episode, less of the Christmas episode, but do a little Christmas recap for you. And then I should get my butt on over to my girlfriend's house to take care of the cat. That's what I was talking about before, is take care of the cat, feed the dog, feed the other cat, make sure all is good there, stimulate them a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back and hopefully trying to hop on the game with my friend. So we're trying to do a little post Christmas fun. Him and I are gonna go see Bronny James, LeBron James' son, play basketball because he's coming to our home state to play against a college about an hour away. Anyways, that's not what we're doing. We're gonna hop on the video game. But Christmas was really good this year. I got off work on Friday, and my girlfriend was there to pick me up, which is awesome. It's like you get off work and you're like, okay, my girlfriend's here. That's awesome. And so we went down to the Christmas Kindle or something in the capital city. I'll just say, I don't know why I'm trying to hide it all. We're in Colorado, so we went to Denver, about an hour away, and yeah, it was really fun. It was like a German market. Apparently, what they do is they fly a bunch of German people out who live in Germany, and they set up these German markets, and there's of course some American people there selling their own American things, but it's really cool. My girlfriend's been to Germany a few times, and she said it's pretty authentic. It's for what it is, not being in Germany and there not being a bunch of Germans around you. But she's like, it's pretty authentic actually. So it was fun. I bought some Christmas presents there. I got my girlfriend's mom and dad. I got them just one gift this year, but it was this like metal cutout of a Bernese Mountain Dog. I'm really can hear myself. I have to turn it down because I'm getting so tuned in to what I'm saying. Anyways, it was a Bernese Mountain Dog, like metal sheet cut out, but it looked really, really good and pristine. And I was like, man, that's gonna be like $80, and it only ended up being $45. And I was like, oh, that's a great deal, and it's local and everything like that. So, but that was fun. It was really good. Christmas lights are going. It's cold. I got an apple cider that had a real it might have had like wassail in it because it did. I haven't had wassail in a very long time, so I can't really vouch for that exactly. But I'm like, this is a familiar taste that's a little bit different. So I don't know what it was, but it was very Christmassy beverage. It was not just heated up apple juice, and it wasn't like an caramel apple spice or cider from Starbucks, which are great, by the way. So a little something else in there that was good. So walking around, a little chilly, but nothing too bad. And that was really great. The next day is the 23rd. I'm trying to think what we did the morning of that day, if anything. I know I didn't see her the morning of either the 23rd or 24th. I don't know what it was exactly. Anyways, it's sad that I don't remember. But the 23rd, went to church. It's like a small church that my girlfriend introduced me to, and I'll be honest, I have like an interesting relationship with church, being a Christian man. I don't go every week. And as to why, maybe I'll get into that another time. But it's not that there's certain things I can dislike about it sometimes. So it's an interesting relationship with that. But it was really a great service, and the message was good. There are certain parts about the message I attached to more. When I'm in church, I disassociate a lot. I have a hard time paying attention to the message. Sometimes it's just a little too much, or just a little too, like how I like to put things when they get to be too much as artsy fartsy. I don't like super artsy fartsy films where the critics are like, this was amazing because of this and that. It's like, don't act like some snob. But even when I disassociate, I'm thinking about things that matter, I believe, in my heart. And, just thinking thoughts that are in relation to some extent is what I do. But there's great music, and I'm never a guy to sing to Christian music, but I was singing my heart out, and it was special, very special. Got teary eyed thinking about my grandparents who have passed away that aren't with us anymore. I think that this time of year kind of does that to you. So that was a special time. Afterwards, we got some calzones. Can't believe I almost forgot that. The Italian guy here, calzones. They were very good. Gonna have to get them again. Not the best calzone I've ever had. I'm not gonna lie. Mel's sister, she hyped it up a lot. A little hyped up a little too much. It was good. It was good. But I've certainly had a much better calzone. There's this place in this city that's kind of like, at the foothills, mountainside, a little ways out. A lot less people in that city. 20 minutes away. But man, their calzone's next level. Next level. So all I'll say is, the quality of the ingredients out there is much better than they are here. It was an okay calzone. It was all right. Watched the Christmas movie afterwards, and then I had to go. I got kicked out. My girlfriend kicked me out. She said, I got stuff to do, buddy. We got to get to bed. I got stuff to do. Because the next morning, waking up bright and early, 7 in the morning, to go tubing at a place I've been going to for a long time. And it's an hour away into the mountains. It didn't snow here this Christmas, but in the mountains where we went, it was snowy, so that was really nice. It's in tubing, by the way, on the snow. I know some people, maybe if you're in Florida, maybe there's not a lot of moving water in Florida. Even the ocean hardly moves, but I know here in the summer people go tubing on the river. So just to clarify, tubing on the snow. Down a hill, sledding with a tube. Well, anyways, we get there. They're not even ready for us, hardly. Our assigned time is from 10 to 2. And, we don't end up being able to sled until 10:20 or 10:30. And when they did, I've been going to this place all of my life. They only had 2 hills open. They only had 2 freaking hills open, man. And they slowly opened up 2 to 3 more other hills, but nothing like that's scary at all, really. And the Black Diamond stuff. I'm not a skier, so I don't know all the terminology, but at this hill they called one of them was like a double Black Diamond and a Black Diamond. And I'm gonna email in. I'm gonna be a Karen, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna get my money off or get a discount on going there next time because I want to go again when the hills are open. Like, what the heck? What the heck? It was so disappointing to go up there and have that happen. I paid for my ticket up there, $55 down the drain in a sense. I had a lot of fun. It was fun going tubing, but I've been there before, so I know how much more fun it could have been. It's like going to a water park where I can't wait to go down this one. I'm not wanting to go down the scariest 90-degree drop, but I'm like, oh, I want to go down this one. It's like going to a water park where only 3 slides are open. And they're all kind of the same. They all kind of just go down, and you're like, "Oh, that was fun." I'm looking forward to going to that one. I just can't always go to that one because there's such a big line. But at this tubing park, there's hardly ever have to wait, and so that's what I was excited for. I'm like, "Oh, I can't wait to go down these huge ones. There's curves, and you catch some air. That's always a lot of fun." And so the fact that those weren't open is just disappointing. And my girlfriend overheard a couple of the workers be like, "We should have got out here earlier. Crap! We don't have enough stuff open." They were totally underprepared. So I plan to write in and get a discount off because I got to go back, got to experience it again this winter. Certainly, now that I got a taste, I want a little bit more. I want the scary rides because they're sick and they're scary and they're fun. So that'll be I guess what I can look forward to is that's a little date in the future. Anyways, we get back. I go home because we got to go to Christmas Eve dinner with my family. I got to go. Mari's going to do her own thing. And a while back, I told my nanny, she's my only grandparent left, my grandma. But nanny, nonna, I don't know, one of the two. In Italian is grandma. We call her nanny, kind of like you might call your grandma Grammy. We call my nana nanny. Anyways, I was saying like, dude, we gotta make, you gotta make some homemade meatballs for Christmas this year. And so her and my dad had apparently made them the day prior and then cooked them on Christmas Eve. So that was really good. Spaghetti and homemade meatballs, from a real Italian family. Let me just say, very good. Had some leftover of that today. It's very good, very good. Yeah. Let me just say, we do meatballs best, okay? You might make your own homemade meatballs, and let me just say, it just doesn't hit the same. It wasn't made by an Italian. That's all I'm saying. So that was good. I got to see my uncle, and I'm excited because I'll probably start going and doing a little men's Bible study with him, and I feel like he always puts things in a way that I understand, and makes learning about things a lot less like traditional or like how you always hear things are. It's just I like the things he has to say, and I feel like they're applicable, relatable, but yeah, most importantly, applicable to real life. So that was really nice. I was going, going, going for a long time, let me tell you, because after that, I get home, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to Melanie's now. And so I go to Melanie's, and her mom did awesome this year with games. So many cool, fun board games. Let me see how centered I am right now. Yeah, I figured. Um, I don't know if I'd say board games, just like activities and whatnot. One of them, I won the first one, and I won a little Sonic gift card, which I was not expecting. I was like, that's awesome. I also gave them their gifts, and they gave me theirs. I'm trying to find one of them. I don't think I've set it out yet though, but I got a little Grogu, for those of you who don't know, Baby Yoda Funko Pop, eating a cookie. So I really like that. Traditionally, I don't really get Funko Pops, but I've always thought the Grogu ones looked cool. So glad to get that. And a little Cinemark gift card. Go see a movie soon. But the first game was like using a spatula. You're blindfolded, and there's two buckets. There's a bigger bucket or bowl, a bigger bowl and a smaller bowl, and a bunch of those like stick-on ribbons that you see for presents on the table. And you're supposed to get as many as you can into the buckets. And I won that one. I got a bunch into the small bucket, a bunch into the big bucket, and a bunch of little ribbons, which are double points. And the smaller bucket is also worth double points. So I did good in that game. I won, which was awesome. A couple of other games as well. I don't remember them all. One of them was like a ping pong bounce. You have to like bounce it and get it into the cup. I got 7 in. I was like, oh man, like I did pretty good there. 7 in a minute. That was pretty good. And it was on a table that was like not completely flat. Well, here's the thing: is her sister, my girlfriend's sister, is always very good at winning games. But I walked away being like, yeah, I think there's a good chance. There's a pretty good chance that I got this. Nope. Nope. Her dad got 3 more than me. He got 10. And then her sister, 14, doubled the score. I was like, it's not even close, man. So she ran away with that one. I think there's 4 games total. I forget what the third one was. And then the last one was like a bunch of cups mixed up with numbers in them. And basically you have to like pick up the cup and then try and like find the matching number cup. You get those, you go over, and then there's a present with the aligning number there. So I won something in that gift too. I think I got one of those Liquid Deaths, which I like Liquid Death. It's a good LaCroix alternative. I think I like LaCroix more, but they also have a sweet version as well. So I'll probably have to, maybe next paycheck, I might have to get some of those now that I'm thinking about it. Have some LaCroix on the desk, or these Liquid Deaths on the desk. So that was cool. That's what I won there. But yeah, it was great. Next morning, wake up. I kind of told you did Christmas with the family. I got some new running shoes. Like I've told you guys, I've been trying to get into running. I haven't ran in a while, which scares me a little bit. I know I know I have certainly regressed to some degree, but I'm looking forward to running again. I'm just trying to take it slow with this cough of mine. I think it's mostly gone. You heard me cough earlier in the episode though, and I'm still kind of waking up a little bit stuffed up, but yeah, I think I should mostly be fine now. I just wanted to keep it safe with that because I would hate for that cough to continue to come back. So those are nice. I wouldn't wear them every day because they're not like drippy like that. Brooks running shoes aren't really meant to be that way, I would say. I'm I only wear white shoes is the thing. And I knew I didn't want those shoes to be white because, I'm going to be running and they're naturally going to get slightly dirty, but they're really nice shoes and very comfortable. Certainly the nicest pair of shoes I have. So, and then this right here, this coat, hopefully you noticed. I don't know. It's my style. I love it. I think I look dapper, and I damn near wore it to bed last night because it's so comfy, it's so warm, and it's getting quite cold out here. So, a great morning with the family. We made waffles. My parents got me my own little homemade waffle maker, which is nice because I'll be moving away eventually. So, be able to make myself some waffles. Maybe I'll make a few tonight. That sounds kind of fun. So that was fun. I When I was Christmas shopping, I don't even know, a week and a half ago at this point, maybe it's even been 2 weeks. I went to get my girlfriend some energy drinks, and then I said, 1 year I got a Monster Energy drink. I haven't had a Monster Energy drink since that year, and I was like, I'm gonna get this for myself. And so I wrapped up a gift for myself sometime before Christmas, and on Christmas Day, I unwrapped my own gift to myself. That was the last gift I'd gotten from my family, me being my own family. So yeah, it was good. I had maybe I'll pop up the picture here. I had waffles, bacon, waffles had syrup on them, and a Monster Energy drink. There's also a wine there in the back. I didn't indulge, unfortunately, not being of age. But that's crazy, crazy breakfast. Then my girlfriend came over. We did our presents. It was a lot of fun. There was a funny moment. I'm going to show you one of my gifts here in a second from her. My favorite one. Well, I don't know. Maybe. They're all my favorite, kind of. I have trouble saying one's my favorite because it's like, well, I kind of like the other ones because of the story behind it. But my girlfriend, I don't know which came first because she got two-player video games for us to do together because we just kind of, when we hang out, a lot of us is like binging TV or, kind of just talking or something else. And so that'll be fun for us to do video games while we're over here together. That should be really fun. But let's just say it's the game It Takes Two was one of them that she got me. And I was like, oh, that's sick. I'm like, we'll have to wait just a little bit until I get paid. Because then I'll go ahead and get another controller for us to play this game. Because I only have one controller right now that really works. The other one has bad drift on the remote. It just doesn't work. It starts moving on its own. And she's like, oh, like she really played it off well. She was like, oh, yeah, you don't have another controller? I was like, no. And she's like, okay, well, that's okay. And next gift I opened from her was a new Xbox remote, which was crazy because I was like, I haven't gotten like a video game related gift in years, it feels like, and so it was really cool to get that as gift. It's just a cool thing to receive. So yeah, cool gift, and it was just funny because she played it off so well, and it was funny. I just liked that. It was I just hugged her right away. It was funny and fun. But yeah, got a couple of video games on Christmas. It's crazy. All in all, from around the family, a bunch of food gift cards, which is one thing I was hoping for this year. And I love gift cards. I just do. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's kind of an easy like gift, and it's like, yeah, but everyone likes it is the thing. Like, it's easy because everybody likes it. Like, I'm never gonna be like, oh, only a gift card. Like, I love gift cards too. They're fun. I think they're great. I always get so excited to use them, and so I'm looking forward to getting myself some lunch tomorrow or something like that before I go back to work. But yeah. Anyways, that's really all I got, guys. It was a great Christmas. I had a great time. And I think that'll be it for me until I see you there on New Year's or something like that. Probably not New Year's, but that'll be it for me. And I'll see you guys in 2024. I hope to continue, this podcast. I mean, I will. That's just, I love it. I like doing it. It's something I think I've been relatively consistent with. Obviously, I've done some little hiatuses, barely, but I like this thing. I like telling you about what's going on in my life. I appreciate you listening in today. Hour 4 minutes. I don't know how long it'll be for you. Something like that. But yeah, thanks guys for watching yet another episode of Before I Go. I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. It's been a lot of fun. I gotta go run. I gotta get to my girlfriend's house and let out these animals, take care of them, because I'm a little late. I'm a little bit late, and they're a little bit hangry, I would assume. So I'll see you guys. Oh, I meant to show you real quick right before I go. One of the gifts I got. 2008. Look at this bad boy here. Look at that. That is Anakin Starfighter. Look at that. 2008 right there. The story behind this being, my friend had a birthday party. I'm going to keep putting it up here for you. And we got him this. But someone else did as well, apparently, as we figured out as he was opening his presents at the birthday party. This is back in 2008. And so I'm like 5. It's crazy. I'm like 5 years old at this time. And yeah, I looked at that gift and I was like, that is so cool. I really want that. And I never ended up getting it. And so this year to my girlfriend, I was like, I never got this as a kid. I've always wanted it. I know it's like way more expensive now because I got it brand new in the box. Box was in great condition, unbuilt. You know, the packaging for the Legos was unopened. We thought the box was opened, but I'm actually not so sure it was. I think just the way that the box was packaged is weird, in actuality. But who's to really say? It could have been like opened for authenticity purposes, making sure it was real. But yeah, it was really fun to build. I built it today, and so. I will say Lego is much better at their instructions now and like the diversity of their stuff. But anyways, that's it. It was really cool. Cool to get this childhood gift. It's been 15 years since I last saw this thing in the box, and yeah, really cool to build it for the first time. So that was my awesome gift. But thanks, guys. I gotta go. I gotta go. So love y'all. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Goodbye.